Let me put that side for what I am. Let me put that side for what I am. All about my I'm a rockstar bitch, this is how I bleed. Nigga try to play me, I'ma make him bleed. Let's get right. 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 There's numerous ways you can shoot up on point. Some get shot, locked down, and turn left. Got really hard, then straight up shook one. They ain't the crooks up.
And now I'm knocked over dominoes, pop those, I eat on fake now. Everybody's calling in, if you give a trust, you gonna trigger for some enough niggas fuck with it, but don't fuck with it.
She's too greedy. I'm that beat.
Good work, come on.
I put on the best. I am see.
Come on. Give me one more. Let's go. Oh, yep. Yeah.
I'm on it.
Bitch call me Deadlift, AMRAP, she call me selfish. Success got me jealous. Shorties killing while I'm drilling. Tattoos how to break the news.
Spitting knowledge, but the Lord cannot save you.
What's up, guys? I'm Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, Educational Health and Social Wellbeing. And as you can see, we're here in the Houston area at Corrupted Strength, and it's Friday. So it's my heaviest SBD session of the block, which is usually on Saturdays. It's supposed to be tomorrow, but I'm in Houston because I'm going to be handling 2 clients at the Iron Sight meet tomorrow. And one of them goes in the morning, and that session goes from about like 9 a.m. to 1. Then the next one goes at 3 p.m. That'll be about from like probably 3 p.m. to 7. 8 p.m. So it'd be one of those things where if I would have done tomorrow, I would have had to wake up like at 3, 4 in the morning, or got it in after handling for that long, which usually you guys know I usually just get it in post handling, but when it's the heaviest SBD day, I need to go as well as possible. And this week's already been really long because Amber and I have been moving since Monday. So it's been a lot of back and forth as far as that, just with getting things from one location to the next. So it's one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna combine Thursday's bench work and upper body work with Wednesday's SSB and RDL lower body work, because what I did all that on Wednesday. I rested yesterday, then today drove down to Houston, 5-hour drive, came straight to the gym and started getting in here with Petrie, Annie, and Petrie's client Lynn. And honestly, given the circumstances, I'm very happy with how today's going. Like 507 for a triple, that's only 2.5 kg under my best triple of 512. And when I hit that, you know, circumstances were good, wasn't traveling, wasn't in the car for 5 hours previously, and I was walking around heavy at that time too. I was around like 174, 175. The heaviest I've seen on the scale so far is 173, but my average has been closer to still like 170, 171. So it's definitely still trending upwards, but I'm not like walking around 173 consistently, right? If I was, then, you know, that would make that much more of a difference. But given the circumstances of how this week's been, on top of like just driving down here and getting the SBD in a whole day early, so having 1 day less rest as far as my lower body, I honestly feel fantastic. I'm not mad at that triple at all. And on top of that, the fact is I'm not used to being on that type of rack. It's not quite the height I need to be, which is why every time I would rack it, I would clip it every time I walked out, which is why I was like, let me be smart. Let me not try to force 512 or force a whole new PR. Let me just take what I know I can comfortably get. And after the second rep, I was like, yeah, I'm good for this third. I just gotta make sure that I like, you know, keep everything locked in, which once again, is still this thing where my depth control just feels so consistent with this stance compared to when I was wider. Like, I can break parallel, hip crease below the knee, then just drive back up, and I can gauge it. Like, I know exactly where my body is at any point in time as far as the squat, so I'm really happy with that. Aside from that, a couple changes. Your boy's now benching 5 days a week, so all my bench days are still the usual, like Saturday. Today's like the primary like single or variation single that I always have. Tomorrow is like the secondary primary day where I have like a top set of 3, 2, 1, 4, whatever it may be. Day 3 used to be on Tuesdays, which would be like, you know, a top set of 5 to 7 and back down 7s, comp grip style. Now, day 3 is technically on Mondays, where I work up to top set of 5 Larson press, then a little 8% drop for a back down set of Larsons. And so that's my day 3, and now my day 4 is what day 3 used to be, which is a top set of 5 to 7, then back down 7s. Then day 5 is the close grip bench day where I have like, you know, a top set of 6 to 8, then back down 8s. And the reason we're doing this is just because while we're gaining this weight and momentum, I want to do everything I can to maximize my total strength. So I want to really make sure I can break through this plateau on bench and be able to not only make sure I hit at least 375 at my next meet, but possibly more than that. And I'm somebody where I know I can handle it. It's interesting because even though my leverages aren't great for powerlifting, I have a very high work capacity. That's why you guys see me do so much accessory work and push the volume and exertions high on that accessory work. Because even though I'm not built great for the lift to where I can't be overly conspecific on any given day, I can still handle a lot of workload. So even though I'm benching 5 days out the week with my long range of motion, so long as we're managing the volume and the total workload in alignment with my accessory work, then we're good to go. So yeah, squats went well. You guys also saw my first and last back down set. That's another thing too. Even though it's like very hot in the DFW area, it's like, you know, anywhere from 105, 107. The humidity in Houston is just different. So I'm sweating way more than usual. I definitely feel a little bit more drained after each set compared to usual, but at the same time, my body feels good, like having that type of sweat going. So given the circumstances, today's been awesome. We're gonna see how bench goes, see how deadlift goes. There was another change we made with deadlifts, but I'll talk to you guys about that later. I hope you guys can hear me okay. So bench went super well. 2.5 kg PR for that variation, which is the 3 count decent, 2 count pause. Our APR last spot was 347, so the goal was just come in and try to match or beat that. I was still able to beat it despite, you know, how tired I am. And that's another thing too, like, you know, even though I took my caffeine today, because as I told you guys, I'm only taking caffeine right now on my heaviest part of the block. My usual hype is just not there today. Like, I'm focused in, but that extra level I'm able to go to is just not there after like being so tired from the drive and whatnot. So I'm very happy with how that went. Now we're about to go into deadlifts. The thing we changed about deadlifts was, and I already kind of felt this last block, even though we hit those PR sets of 4 on week 2 and 3, and that's the fact that I just don't get a whole lot out of rep work on conventional, especially when we're doing this much volume with the squat and the lower body work too, like with the belt squat, leg press, pendulum leg press, dumbbell split squats. It's like by the time I get to deadlifts, I just don't have a whole lot of juice left to do anything significant for my top set. Like last block, starting back, of course, you know, I was 160 D-train. I did 45 for my top set of 4 week 1. And then, of course, we managed to finish out with 540 for the PR set of 4 at the end of the block. Well, this block I started with, it was like 501, I want to say, or something like that. And it felt very, very difficult for 3. And then even last week, only went up to like 507 or 518, whatever it is. I'll have it probably like pop up on screen somewhere. But also felt very, very difficult. And it's not that the weight is heavy, it's the fact that like after getting through like the higher volume, like, the chop triples and like the 4x4 back downs, I just don't have a whole lot left for it because staying in that consistent position is so hard for me due to my leverages. So what we're now doing is just working up to a single, because we've already done singles year round with my deadlift before. We know it works well for keeping strength where it needs to be. And of course, I'm still building the actual deadlift through my squat volume, belt squat, leg press, upper back work. But what's that guy? Hey, but the big thing we're doing now is after I hit my top single, I'm gonna have 2 drop back singles based off a percent drop. So I can get that extra work still and that extra practice, but without it being like so heavy and having to do multiple reps with the same weight in one set. I'll take the time to fully reset and get the practice in that I need while still pushing RDLs on the secondary day. So yeah, we're gonna see how conventional goes. We got a single at like RPE, I believe 8 or 9. All right, what's up, guys? So we are back at the crib a week later. At least it's been a week since I last talked to you guys because it's now July 31st, Sunday. So last time I talked to you guys was Saturday of last week. Pretty much, once I got done training, I meant to close the video out, but just had to very quickly get to dinner, eat, get home, try to get some sleep. So once again, I was handling the next day. Then I handled the whole entire next day. Went to eat again, passed out, woke up, trained, and then came straight home. And once again, Amber and I are now moving to a new place, our first house. So it's been one of these things where I've kind of been focused on getting that done and just kind of forgot to close out the video. The good news is I have some updates for you guys. Before we get into that, I'll kind of finish out my thoughts with how the session went, right? Like I said, I was very happy with the squats, 2.5 kg under my best triple, despite SBDing a whole day early, and despite training immediately after like a 5, almost 6 hour drive, just due to that Houston traffic, which is garbage. So I was very happy with that. Bench, couldn't have been happier. Like, nice little 2.5 kg increase from the end of last block, and an all-time PR as far as the 3 count, tempo, 2 count, long pause variation. Deadlifts, as you guys can see, I did not have my my L runs. I forgot them here in the DFW. So I pulled in the J's, which felt almost like pulling a slight deficit, to be honest. I just didn't feel like pulling barefoot, to be honest, at that point. And since I know I was gonna push anything crazy heavy anyway, I was just kind of like, let's just feel it out, see how it goes. Was still trying to play with like where I want to place the belt. And it's just one of these things where, especially as I'm now getting even more weight, like getting into the most comfortable position for me just doesn't feel good. Even my 10mm belt. You guys already know that a long time ago I was playing a 13mm, and then I discovered 10mm belts, and I believe most people will deadlift better in a 10mm belt where they pull conventional or sumo. There's always exceptions, but especially for conventional pullers, just because the belt will kind of naturally make us bias more flexion, and we're probably gonna be able to get a better position, more similar to our beltless position, if the belt's not quite as thick. So 10mm work really well. For me though, simply just due, once again, not just to my leverages in terms of how long my legs are, even though my arms are pretty long, my legs are so much longer that it kind of like cancels out. But it's also the fact that my hips are really high. So getting into that more, flat back neutral position off the floor is very difficult when I put a belt on. So, the top set was okay. If I could do one move decently, I guess, given the circumstances. I already know that that's the thing. Like training a day early, training post a long drive. The squat and bench will usually be okay, but the deadlift definitely takes a hit from that. But as far as how the back down sets went, as far as having like just 2 back down singles afterward, I think it's gonna be really good for getting a good additional practice. And the good news is since then, I have I was talking to my client, Lucky. His actual name is Alex, but everybody knows him as Lucky. And because we've been playing with him with trying to find a belt that kind of works for him, because he's pulled belts for so long, and right now his belted strength is way higher than his belted strength. So we've tried different types of belts. So he helped me actually find a 6.5 millimeter belt, which I actually got and was able to try yesterday, and I'll kind of show you guys some clips from that. But pretty much, I think it's going to be the move for me. But like I said, I'll kind of get to that part later. Let's kind of talk about the rest of this last training week, because we started the new block yesterday, but we got back from Houston. Training went well. Like everything with bench was pretty casual. Just nice little steady increments on my higher volume days. But squats, we hit an all-time PR set of 5 with 474 pounds, 215 kilos. So I was very, very happy with that. And then on SSB squat tertiary day, hit an all-time PR set of 5 as well with 450 pounds, I want to say.
How many?
Yeah!
Go!
Oh, you man, get it.
Get up!
Come on.
Get it up! Yeah!
2 more, let's go. 2 more.
Get up! One more, come on, you got it!
Let's go.
Get up! Yeah! Yes, sir!
And I think it's like 203, 204 kilos or something like that. So I was very, very happy with that, because it's nice to see that my squat's feeling very on again, especially as I'm kind of like gaining this weight. Granted, like I said, the heaviest I've seen on the scale is like 171, 172, but it's still steadily trickling upward as far as the average, so I'm very happy with that. Then also while we're in Houston, just like as a little accessory note, because you guys know that I'm trying to push all these accessories just as much as the big 3 and really pack on size, we hit, for my first set of my AMRAP pull-ups, 30 pull-ups. With about 2 to 3 reps left in the tank. Very, very happy about that, because that's the most amount of bodyweight pulls I've done at this heavier weight. I think my best all-time set of pulls was like 50 back when I only did like calisthenics only, and I was walking around like sub 150 years ago. So to be able to crank out 30 is great, and to see that my pull-up strength is going up on my weighted pull-up and my bodyweight AMRAP day with only doing pull-ups twice a week is really, really dope, because I already know if I want to really push that, I could by increasing the frequency. So that's been awesome. And then, yeah, the rest of this week has just been pretty normal and chilled overall for the most part. As for yesterday went well. Started the new block, so we're now doing doubles on squats. I started off with 210 kg, just a little 5 kg boost from the start of last block's triples to hit 463 pounds for my top double. It felt really good, really smooth. I also have been squatting in the new 100 slippers. They got sent to me by Pug and Jen. They sent them my way to kind of test them out and give my honest thoughts on them. I love them for squats, which is saying a lot, because I'm somebody where I don't really like squatting in middle shoes. I've mentioned on this channel before, I like squatting in flats. I'm usually in Vans or J's, because I like my foot to have a little bit of weight to it when I'm squatting. And that's why I don't like squat on my L runs or squat in Torres lifts or anything like that. But I actually really, really like squatting in these. Like, I felt very stable, very well rooted, but the slipper is not so light to where it feels overly minimalist. So I love squatting in them. They're not really designed for bench apparently. When I told Pug like I didn't think they were great for bench because I was slipping in them, he told me that they're planning something else in terms of like a different type of sole material for the bench, but it felt good as far as that. And then pulling in them felt fine. I think I still prefer my L runs just because they're so flat when it comes to the deadlifts. But yeah, I've been squatting in those. Those have been feeling really, really good. Bench press, it's now just a 3-count tempo with a normal pause. I'm no longer doing the long pause after the 3-count tempo. So I started with 330 pounds, just a little 5 kg bump from the 319 I started with last block. So we'll kind of see how that progresses. And then deadlifts worked up to a single with 235 kilos, 518 pounds. And then we had 2 back down singles with 15% less, which is 440 pounds. So like I said, I think having these additional practice singles will be good. It's not so much volume to where it's gonna beat me up, because we already know that I deadlift just doesn't respond to very high volume. Just, you know, pushing those singles and then, you know, having my RDLs on the secondary day and then pushing my lower body accessories and my upper back work has done wonders for my deadlifts. So we're just gonna keep that going, especially as we kind of keep gaining this weight. And as you guys can see, I, you know, was using the new Pioneer belt, 6.5mm that I got. The only issue is this is a size medium. I ordered that because that's what I usually wear in lifting belts, is a size medium. I was stupid and just didn't double check the sizing chart. The size medium is for a size 31 to 40 inch waist, so it's too big for me. Even on the tightest setting, I couldn't really brace into it the way I wanted to. But luckily I ordered a small after I realized my mistake, and that got in today. So I'll be able to use that the next time that I pull. And I think it's gonna be the move, because it still gives me something to brace into to create more of that intra-abdominal pressure so I can lift more, but it's so thin to where it doesn't really mess with my positioning anywhere near as much. So I think it's gonna be the move for deadlift, so I'm very excited to kind of see how things go as far as that. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as what I think I need to get you guys caught up on. Like I said, really big gap between last time I talked to you guys during this video and where we're at now. It's a whole week later, but at least at this point now you guys are pretty much caught up with everything that's been going on. And I'm excited, man. Like, things are trending in the direction that they should be. I feel very confident that I'm gonna hit a nice PR double on squats at the end of this block, just based upon how squats felt this past week. And as far as bench, I don't see any reason why I won't hit, like, you know, a nice, just 3-count tempo PR, whether that's 358, 363, we'll see. And then deadlifts right now, it's just kind of letting myself get back in the groove. I'm not really pushing for any PR singles right now. So that's the thing, when you're doing singles year round on a lift, you can't be expecting to hit a PR every block with it, because you're only gonna get so much stronger so quickly, right? That's one of the cool things about cycling rep ranges. But I do expect to get some benefit with just, you know, getting a better groove with my positioning and stuff like that with this new belt. So excited to see how that goes. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go and leave a comment down below, let me know what you did. If you not, leave a comment down below, let me know what can be better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.